stop working, that's the promise. Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm P-P-P-Low, time to bring the bass bird.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People wanna know where Mace, Potts, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, the head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter rock, turn it up. We giving a show, but can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space or out your mind? But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver. All about running the spot, and you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play, and you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. Nothing like the fanfare game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. At a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. The numbers for Smith-Schuster in that game last week. 7 catches, 128 yards, and a touchdown.
And he's trying to prove the adage, it's not just how you start, it's how you finish. And he is finishing awfully strong, takes great care of his body. I expect him to go ahead and put a capper on this season. 2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Now throwing on first down and completing it. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's see, yeah, they'll spot it right in midfield at the 50. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 34-yard line.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10 is counter. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
A quick pass out to Juju. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
And a big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs, because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. No doubt a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at the 20. Following the interception, Mayfield got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Here's Mayfield. That is caught by the former Gator Antonio Callaway. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
Mayfield to throw it. Throw left side complete. That's Maxwell. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there. 38 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a toss. This is Connor. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
2nd and 14. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Here's a first down throw. It's complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double-team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he is all the way up past the 25.
Yeah, they should have known. They should have known, baby.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
To throw, Mayfield. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Give me some. Give me some.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Maxwell. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Mayfield off the play fake. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to keep it here. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 25-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Keep it up, guys. Kill. Turn it up. Kill. Real.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Always got some breathing room. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
There we go.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Mike 5-9.
Let's go, defense. Let's get off the field, defense.
They go play action here on first down. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Hey, alert! 55. Right there in the middle. 55. Bravo.
Mayfield. This will be caught at about the 5. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
He may try and run for this. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
Point it right.
4th down, Mayfield. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham. 12 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Now back to throw. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. A short throw caught by Andrews. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. Looking sideline, incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. And a good job defensively. They stopped him short of the 1st at the 32. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
After the field goal, on to kick it away is Pinheiro. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play. Mayfield now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Check.
Mayfield on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 19.
The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one.
Point it right. Hey, foxtrot. Check, 59.
From the red zone now, Mayfield being chased out left. And this is going to be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
He finds Beckham complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
50. 180. 56. Hey.
Now a play fake here on first down. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will actually break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
Going to the air again with Mayfield. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. David Njoku with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Coming back out to take the field, Mark Andrews and company. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is it allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route-running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports halftime report. You sure you're ready for the third quarter? Need to use a bathroom or anything? All right, cool. Let's go. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On 2nd and 2, Mayfield. This is the tight end, Njoku. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 31-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense. And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Throw left side complete. That's Maxwell. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 14. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
55, right there in the middle, 55. Wild Bill, Wild Bill. Check 43. Hey, alert.
They'll give it to Chubb. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
56, check 56. Focus defense, focus.
Hey, high 7.
Second down and goal. Mayfield eluding the pressure right. He'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on first down, but unable to do much from there. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys and continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. And he's closing in on that number. They're all running back circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Now Mayfield. Over the middle, complete. It's Maxwell. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Real.
Mike, 55. Check, 55.
Hey, seam 6. Done.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you could actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. And again, it's Mayfield. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10, and he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is down to 28-10. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
I hope you brought your left because I'm about to take you.
Point it right.
Mayfield looks to throw. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4.
Set, 180. Hey, come on out here. Come get some.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
From just shy of midfield, Mayfield, and incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath, nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Maxwell. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 31-yard line. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Mayfield to throw it. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Point it right, point it right, point it right.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw here, and this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 33.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know it's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half, 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw, and he's going to find Gallup here complete. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. They're going to look to throw. And a good return here as he takes it up past the 30-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Following the interception, Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. And obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try to stop any type of running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Mayfield. And he comes back with one complete. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Alert, 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 alert. They're going to need some therapy after this. Hey, alert, 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 alert. SOS.
A run for Nick Chubb. They'll get 3 up to midfield.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
And again, it's Chubb. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. On 3rd down, Mayfield. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Flushed out right. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Regular.
Well, the lead late in the 4th, but Mayfield's going to throw it. That's out to Chubb, complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
And you know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate, The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They'll run with Chubb, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
He gets this one to Johnson. Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve. And that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. They'll look to throw. And able to find Green. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock.
Here we go. Set. 10-2 stop. Hey, I'm coming.
He'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's Andrews. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Watch QB drop.
He'll drop to throw. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. They'll drop the throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Browns, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
one up and up, it's magic. With the gang, we ball out, they can't get trapped.